All right, people, we are back with the Not So PG podcast. And as you can see, Gianni is not with us. He's back home in New York. You'll see him later on the next podcast. Don't worry, he's okay. But today, I have my buddy Garrett Nolan on. You may have seen his face on TikTok doing some, now his new niche is these very cool, relatable TikToks. But you may have seen his cat jumping on him and some wild stuff in the past. But here he is, Garrett Nolan. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you doing today, Peter?
I'm doing fantastic. And I'm excited to get this chat going with you because me and Garrett, guys, we always get like the most deep, fun conversations where it's just the same reason I started this podcast. Like, you're having these amazing conversations where your friends are like, if we recorded this, like, people would love to hear it. So I'm excited to share with you guys this whole podcast. So make sure if you're listening in, you know, for a long drive, throw this on, listen in on us. And yeah, so let's get to it. All right, Garrett. So for my first question, get things started, I was wondering, what got you into social media? What got you into posting videos? Because generally, like, as a friend, I would call myself to you now. I can see you're a very like rugged, like working guy, like not the type of person I would expect to really get into social media and be killing it. So I'm curious, like, what got you into that? How'd you get started on social media?
That's a good question, and it's something that I kind of ponder and think about myself a lot. I came into it atypically. Like, it's not something that I ever wanted to do or thought I was going to do. But when I was getting out of the military, I was really in a mess of just trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. And at that time, I was working 3 different part-time jobs, and a friend of mine just said, hey, there's this fun app. You should go look on it. And at the time, I was single, too.
What year was this? Do you remember what year?
2000.
Like 19?
Yeah, 18? I guess it would have been right prior to COVID.
Yeah, same for me.
But, yeah, I guess the main motivation was to just, it was a new app available, like Instagram or Facebook was, and the first video I pulled up was some dude dancing with his shirt off, honestly, and I said,
I could do that.
I could definitely.
I could dance with my shirt off.
Definitely do that. So that's what happened, and we just started from there.
No, dude, same for me. Honestly, I had a friend that saw I was trying to make content on Instagram. I was doing fitness videos, and he was like, "Bro, you would kill it on this app." So I gave it a shot, and off rip started getting 30,000, 100,000 views. And I, at the time, had never seen anything like that. I always wanted that. But now here was this app, the first time ever, an app that's able to just hand a random person like us 100,000 views just for, looking good on camera. There was never an algorithm like that. There was never an explore page like that. And I think it was about around the same time for me. I was in college, and I was at actually a very, very rough point in my life when it happened. And it kind of made a lot of sense. It was kind of like God giving me another choice, because I would do very well in school, right? But it would always get to a place where I just would be so built up on so much anxiety and just dread. And I was thinking about giving up. And then I started posting these TikToks that ended up doing very well. And oh my gosh, wait, here, I'm making some money on it. And then it became an option of like, do I go $100,000 in debt in college, or do I go make $100,000? You know what I mean?
I mean, the answer is clear.
So the answer was pretty clear, right? Do I always wonder what if? No, like I like the path. I do love the path that I am on. I think I would have been on this path either way. But I was actually, my main goal in college was to actually go on to be like an anchorman or some sort of politics, because I was a political science.
I could definitely see that, though.
Yeah. Did you have any like dream? Like, what was your dream job prior to being a TikTok star?
I'm like a individual that really just tries to live within the year that I'm in. So I didn't think too far ahead, but I don't know. I really have always loved entertaining, and especially with acting. A lot of people may not know this, but I did some on stage theater work and stuff throughout college. I love theater. I love Broadway. So I think that kind of got me into all of it from the start. Just, it's really amazing just to see what you can elicit from people by entertaining them.
Yeah. What do you think about the whole mental health aspect of it? Because you see, like, there's a large decline today in most people, especially the kids growing up, and like, we don't really know how to deal with it because we've never seen social media so powerful. You, as someone who gets so much attention, so many views, so many numbers, what are some tips you have for people to, figure that side out of things? How to not suffer with your mental health when it comes to social media?
I would say I wouldn't wish this on anybody, to have a following like that. It's a
crazy
great,
way to put
and
it.
It was temporarily great.
Yeah.
For the first year or two, and then like reality sets in. I'll say this. I'm happy that it happened, of course, but I think I'm happier of like everything that it taught me that I don't want from it. I don't enjoy, so much attention where you're getting all these comments and what is it called? Like a parasocial connection is really hard to deal with people because, you know, you're trying to deal with everything that's going up on your head in your heart. So having a lot of this like visceral attention coming in is difficult, especially for me. Some people can deal with it differently. Like our friendship started, I was like, wow, this guy's really confident and he's able to deal with, you know, people recognizing him, this and that. Me, not so much all the time. I get really awkward. I guess the best place for me is when I am acting or getting to perform. I can kind of turn off that switch in me. But
fair enough. I'm like, so surprising for me, I'm very socially awkward as well. And I think that the thing with me is I've trained myself over the years to come off as very confident.
Okay.
I'm naturally very antisocial. Like when I was younger, I was always a very quiet kid, but I always longed to be very confident. I always longed to be a very good public speaker. So I would, you know, make my grandma proud in church. I would go up and like do the readings, and they all thought that I was just like this child prodigy, amazing reader. Meanwhile, behind the stand, I would never admit it, but my legs would be shaking.
Oh my
like
gosh,
crazy.
yeah.
And I would come down like, yep, that's just nothing to me. That's Peter, you know. And I always wanted to be that guy. And now because I, you know, fake it till you make it. Now I feel like I am that guy. The camera turns on and like I know what I'm doing. I'm confident in front of it. So like that goes for anything. I think it just is, you know, practice makes perfect, and that goes for literally, like I said, anything. But back to the mental health thing, like we all have different ways of looking at things. And it's funny how you say like you wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy, like the fame from it, because people want this clout, they want this fame, everyone wants to be TikTok famous now. Yeah. They don't understand. And I was one of those people actually that would look at celebrities and be like, how are you upset? Because you look at a lot of these very wealthy celebrities, you're like, people look at Pete Davidson, I saw comments like, dude, he's a multimillionaire. What do you mean you're depressed? And it's like, you don't get it. Like money and fame aren't fixing depression, aren't fixing anxiety. I suffered from a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression all leading up into, while I was filming Too Hot to Handle. I never admitted it, but I was one of the most anxious levels I've ever had in my life was while filming Too Hot to Handle. And not because I was like nervous, just because of like my inner anxieties that I had. And a lot of it does come from social media. A lot of people don't realize they have social media addiction. And that's why it's good to take breaks sometimes. But for me, the biggest piece of advice that I could give for dealing with like comments, or especially hate comments, because that's where a lot of the anxiety can really come, is people judging you not how you want them to, is you got to remember that when it comes to hate comments, it's like I've never met a genuine, good, happy person that's got a lot going for them that goes online and like trolls people and writes negative things. Right. If someone is coming at you and speaking negatively to you, they probably, you know, don't have a lot going for them. And I feel bad for them. I think they need the help, you know, because if you're coming from a place where you're so bitter inside, you want to go spread that energy out to other people, that bitterness, I think that says something a lot about yourself. But now coming back to it, I thought it was crazy because I asked you this question the other day. I was curious because this also is gonna, you guys are gonna see why this taps into the mental health side of things, but what got you into these crazy viral cat videos that everybody knows you for? And what made you stop doing them? Because everyone's always like, dude, where's the cat?
Yeah. That question in itself is, I don't have a great answer to say this is something that I wanted to do willingly, but I've always had cats growing up, cats are going to be a part of my life forever. But I just grabbed them. I set up my phone when I had Snapchat, and I was going to send it out to my buddies because thinking that it was just going to be funny, me sitting there singing some, you know, opera. And I had such good feedback from two friends. They were like, wow, this is like the most amazing video I've ever seen. So,
yeah, it is.
And me just thinking that it was my friends, you know, giving that feedback like they would, I just decided to post it. It did phenomenally well.
Millions and millions of views, right?
Yeah, it is a reoccurring question. You know, why don't you do those cat videos much anymore? And it comes back to you know, we talked about mental health within getting a lot of its attention. Yeah. Those videos acclaimed like such an amount of attention that I was getting mail from France and like different countries. It was just way too much for me at that point. Wow. And I don't know, I just looked over at my cat one day and I said, you don't even know what's going on.
So you felt bad for the cat that you didn't know you were making it famous?
I just had this like connection with my cat, and I'm like, we got to stop this, man. So we have to transition into something that you know, you're not a part of this anymore.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And it was great. It definitely had a lot to do with my career, and I loved entertaining people. Like, people loved it.
Yeah, I love it, dude. I fucking
Some
love
people
those cat
didn't,
videos.
but that's with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at this point in my life too, and we can maybe talk about it later, but as you age and your frontal lobe develops, you know, you want to do more with your artistic approach, you know, and I just didn't think that letting my cat, you know,
Scratch the
demolish
shit out
my
of your
face was
It's so funny, but listen, like,
yeah, it did, but
that's the question, right? Like, did it hurt? Because he's biting the shit out of you, dude.
what's
Cat's messing you up.
what's the word called? People were saying masochist. Is that somebody who likes pain? I'm not going to say that I like pain or enjoy it, but it just doesn't.
But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad, right? I mean, dude.
It came and it went.
So is the main reason really that it was making you too famous that you stopped those videos? Like, is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Dude, can you imagine
it was
another...
it was just too much at once because
oh my gosh.
like my following was it was just kind of unbelievable for my human character to even think about, you know.
Yeah.
So
No, that's insane, dude. I can't imagine something being so overwhelmingly successful for me where I'm like, nah, this is making me way too rich and famous. I got to cut this off. You know what I mean? But to be fair, yeah, no, fair enough. I get it from my own perspective because I was obviously, like we were talking about earlier, I was doing very well on like the thirst trap side of things. Yeah. And it was making me a ton of money and it was getting me a ton of views. But I came to this epiphany where I was like, I have a lot more to offer the world. What if I could generate these numbers doing a podcast, doing something I really enjoy doing and not just, you know, sexualizing myself, which is still there. Like there's a sexual side to Pete. Like there's a sexual side of content that I will still make and enjoy, but to make it my whole thing was upsetting. Where I come back to the cat thing, where it's like, dude, just do it sometimes. It's fucking awesome. Just generate 100 million views every once in a while. Just film your cat video. How about if this video gets 100,000 likes, Garrett will start making his cat videos again. Yeah, deal?
We'll do
deal.
one.
Okay.
I'll fly
if
back
this video
to
gets 100,000 likes,
Pennsylvania,
Garrett will fly to Pennsylvania and film his cat video.
However, you have to be in it and you have to take some of the damage.
Done. Garrett's cat's going to fuck me up. Blow this shit up right now. But that's great, dude.
Yeah, and sometimes I think about it too. I don't think about it much until you ask about it.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, what would it hurt? You know, doing another video once in a while.
Bro, come on. But just rack in those numbers, bro. It's cool. You know, like it's like if someone was like, Peter, if you do one more Spider-Man video, you know.
I know it goes through your mind. It goes through.
Oh God, let me ask the question. We're getting asked again by the Peanut Gallery. I'll ask Garrett the question. It's actually a great question. All right, thank you for reminding me. Would you rather lose, Garrett, an inch off of your height and add it to your penis, or an inch off of your penis and add it to your height? I've thought about this, and I think I made my decision.
Well, I'm already painfully average down there, so you might as well just put on an inch above. You know, I would think being taller.
So you're average, so now you're gonna make it small?
Painfully, I'm already painfully average. Why not make it more painful?
What do you mean, bro?
Plus,
wait, are you taller than me?
I don't think so. I think we're the same height.
Oh, Garrett, see.
Think I'm taller?
At that point, because if you're average down there and then your average height, it's like you're really not gonna let a little wiggle room. You got to add to one of them. What would you rather add to? The wiener or the height?
I'm gonna go with the height. Okay. I'm gonna go with the height
because you're really just looking for love. Who cares if it's not huge? An inch on your height.
You don't think so?
It will.
But all right. I'm not like a sexual connoisseur. I don't know a lot about anything, but what I do know is you can do a shit ton with your tongue in your mouth. That can really compensate for really anything that you're lacking.
Yeah.
In. So I'm good. I'm fine. Just give me an inch on my height.
So you're more of a it's about the motion of the ocean kind of guy.
I wouldn't even say motion of the ocean.
Let me get a little bit taller, get her in the door before she sees it, and then let me show her what I could do.
Let me turn the lights off first, and then no. No, I just think there's so much into it that like foreplay is the ultimate.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's like, I love the size of my wiener. I wouldn't want it any bigger or smaller.
You should love this.
I've been told it's the perfect size.
Really? Yeah. That's the best compliment.
But I feel like that's what any girl would say. Right?
Yeah, right.
So I was like, whatever. But like,
especially if you ask them, hey, how was it?
Yeah, because you don't want your dick too big, because I hear that if it's too big, the girl doesn't really enjoy it, and then you don't want it too small because you also don't want it to be like throwing a hot dog down a hallway sort of vibe, right?
Yeah.
So with me,
that.
it's like, like I really don't want to make my dick smaller, but it would be cool if I was an inch taller, right? Because then I'd be like a little above average in height. Because right now I'm like about average height. But then like if I go a little bit shorter, I'm like, I really want to be a little shorter. You know what I mean? But it'd be cool if my dick was an inch bigger. Yeah. So like that's a tough one. I think I would take an inch off. I think I have some wiggle room. Bring my dick to a more average sized cock, and then walk around a little bit taller. Yeah. I think that would be smart.
Humble yourself like me. Come down to my level. Okay. And then we'll both increase in height. And it'll be good.
Fair enough. All right, so I think we made the same decision. I wonder if there's any more fun. You know what? Next podcast, I got to come up with like a lot of those fun ones, because those are like the would you rather questions are hysterical.
Yeah, they are actually pretty funny. It truly makes you, in a weird way, it does make you think about it deeply. Like, yeah. Why am I thinking so hard about
where I'm taking this itch from?
Yeah.
Would you or would you choose to stay the same?
Nah, I love change. I love evolving.
You're nuts, dude.
Give me the height.
Really?
No, I would stay the same.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
You know, and I'm just saying this completely subjectively.
Okay.
Maybe my past or future mates could, make this objective, but I think I do pretty well in bed.
Hey, that's all you need, man.
But if they want to say otherwise, then that's my opinion. So.
That's on them. My goal out of every relationship, no matter how much we end horribly and they're cursing me out and blocking me and I'm blocking them, and dear God, I pray we never have to talk again because that was horrific. I like to think that they can never forget those hardcore moments where I'm like, nobody's giving you dick like this ever again. Yeah. That's what I like to think.
Exchanging every fluid
There's
possible.
no way, as much as you could go tell your friends he was a piece of shit, fuck him. Like I said, I would like to know that at the end of the day, they can never lie and be like, his dick game was whack. I like to make sure I can leave an impression.
Yeah. That they go to the grave with, and that's what they think about.
Yeah, and they're like, he sucked, right? And their friend's like, yeah, he had a little dick too, right? And he didn't have sex good, right? And you should be like, nah, like it was good. He's a piece of shit, though. Like at least that.
Yeah.
But going to the question now, now that we're in the sexual side of things, do you have any, because we like talking about kinks on this podcast. Okay. Past two, we got deep into kinks. We talked about feederism, which is when you feed your girlfriend. You take a skinny girl and you force feed them into a bigger girl, which is when we talked about in the last podcast. Yeah, and then there's a death feederism where you force feed them to death, which is illegal, obviously, but it happens apparently. And there was a girl talking about it that had happened to her on TikTok. Wild. What other kink did we talk about? We talked about knife play, which I was asked of and didn't do, but regret because I wish I had the story to tell. Didn't trust the girl enough. But for you, what kinks do you think? What kinks do you do? What are you into, Garrett?
I'm not familiar with any terminology on kinks or anything.
Yeah.
But I've done BDSM, bondage and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is, I think an iconic kink. I think it's great.
What's the wildest thing you've used in bondage, like toy?
Probably I was so fixated when I saw 50 Shades of Grey, that spreader bar that you can just contract like that and spread their legs further.
What do you use? Wait, so you're telling me you have girls connected like this and they can't
Let's
move?
not say girls. This was more of a, you had to really be emotionally attached to get the bar.
Okay, so
but
so women that you're in love with.
Yep.
You have them stuck like this. And where is it connected?
So it goes around their ankles.
And it's connected to their arms?
you can do different formations and stuff.
Dude, I got to try this.
And if they resist, it spreads even further.
What do you mean? Like where? Like that?
Yeah, it's like a gyroscopic bar with rings in it that if they try to push into it, it'll pull out further. So. And
how many girls have you done that with? Just one?
Two.
Two,
yeah.
Nice. And they liked it?
Yeah. There was she looked scared, one of them.
Oh, yeah?
She looked scared.
And Peanut's here.
I'm sorry about that if it was, but it wasn't a thing that she never didn't come back for, so it must
she came back for it? All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if she didn't come back, it's like, might have scared that girl a little bit. But if she was like, I was into it the whole time.
No, I think it was just, It was as surprising for me as it was for her at the time, I think. I was like, oh, we're actually doing this? I miss those.
Yeah.
I had to put them away for a while. I was just getting into it.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like, how long do you wait before bringing like kinky stuff into the bedroom? Like, how long do you wait before meeting a girl, starting out vanilla, if you even do that, and then being like, hey, let me tie up your ankles to your asshole?
Do you want my...
Like, how long do you wait to do that?
Like 24 hours, maybe. No. But if I were to answer this 3 years ago,
yeah,
it'd be totally different than now. So what answer do you want?
Both. Give me both.
Okay. If this were my answer, you know, in my early 20s, where, you know, I was just very compulsive, would just go for it. You know, and I'd analyze the situation. If they're asking about it, like, oh, yeah, I'd love to do this, I'd wait a little longer, you know?
Okay.
Because they want it so bad that you just got to let it build up.
Yeah.
But if they're not expecting it and they're like, I don't know if I'd be interested, I'd be like, you need this now.
Yeah.
That'd be past answer. But now it's just so much of me is actually not oriented on, it's just crazy to admit this, but I don't think about sex the way that I used to at all. Like
Same.
I used to be so infatuated with that goal of just, you know, having these, even if they were just, you know, one night connections, which is so miserable to even admit, but.
Sometimes, not all. So my thing with one night stands, not to cut you off, my thing with one night stands is like, they can be amazing, but it's rare. Like a one night stand, if you happen to get lucky and meet someone that you actually happen to be able to form a bond and a connection with, like it'll be there.
Yeah.
And you'll feel it through the sex because that is an energy exchange. It's just rare and not worth risking sleeping with someone and exchanging energy with somebody that's just not for you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we've all had those experiences, and I think a lot of people, the issue is just they don't admit it, and they just kind of like rinse and repeat, and they'll have like a bad sexual experience, be like, oh, look, well, next week we'll figure it out again, and then they just kind of like wash it to the back of their head until they're just so hooked into hookup culture. Whereas I think for a guy like me, I've spoke about this on the podcast before, is like I, you know, came from a place where I feel like society really lets men know, like, nope, you're a man, you're supposed to want to have sex with as many girls as possible. And growing up, like I believe that. I was like, yeah, like all the guys that I grew up with all say like, hey, you should want to sleep with all these hot girls. And so I'm finally single now after a long-term relationship back when I was, you know, coming out of college, or still in college actually. And I tried it, you know, I was like, oh, like I have the opportunity, you know, I was very popular in my hometown. I was like, let me try sleeping with some of the prettiest girls I know. And I had no connection with most of them.
Yeah.
And I just realized very fast that this is not for me. And I posted a clip about this on my podcast, and I knew it would be controversial to some people, and they get very upset when I tell girls on the girl side of things, and I think they misinterpret what I try to say. And I want to know your take on this, where I'll explain to girls like that a lot of guys just have a lot of built up testosterone, and they will say anything to sleep with you. Like they will, they'll even believe that they love you because they have this hard testosterone drive. And a lot of people were like, oh yeah, like this is just misogynistic almost to say. And it's like, how? I'm like, I disagree, because I'm telling you like the opposite. I think it's feminist, because I'm saying like these men don't deserve you. Like genuinely, like I think the female body is such a special thing, and I think that it's meant to be protected. And I think that women are like, I feel like even like there was times where I was sleeping with girls in this hookup phase where I was like, I feel like I don't even deserve this girl right now.
Yeah.
And that's a large piece of why I stopped. Like I like to wait. I like to make sure that I gave that girl the respect of waiting, especially if I really like her. And I'm just wondering your take on that. What do you think about that?
No, I completely agree with you. I may not have fully agreed with you in my early 20s when I was just experimenting and wanted everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the female body, and not even their body, just the mind, their spirit, is a very sacred temple. And that's something that I've come to realize with, you know, the human experience that I'm having. Aging has taught me everything, and suffering too, causing pain onto others, has definitely told me that, you know, giving yourself time to figure out this woman, or vice versa, you know, if you're a woman or whoever, but finding your partner is seriously one of the strongest commitments that I'm gonna go after, like everybody should. It's just, maybe I'm a little late to the game, maybe I'm a little early, I don't know, but I'm glad that I'm done with that.
Me too, man.
Piece of my life where I don't feel the need to go and prove my masculinity by how many, and keep in mind, I haven't slept with too many people, but it was a huge, huge goal of mine.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that it's not a goal.
So like sleep with a lot of girls.
Yeah, sleep with a lot of girls, or just even get attention, whether it was sexual, physical. I just loved attention from girls for so long, and it's just good that I can put it into my art now and put it into my life.
Dude, yeah, it takes so much energy from you when you focus on. As a guy, it could be very easy to just be focused on girls, and want to rack that number. Like I remember having when I was younger, I had this idea that like, oh yeah, it's cool to have a high body count as a guy. Like we believe that, we've been told that, and that's why like I don't know if a lot of people would agree with me, but I think it's not to be like, oh, boohoo, guys are told to have sex with a lot of girls, but like societally and like by other men and just growing up, like I believed it. And it wasn't until I started living it in my own life that I was like, this is miserable. I don't like this. This is an exchange of energy. And it almost takes away, I feel, from when you do have like a strong connection like with a girl, and it could take away from those moments when you oversaturate sex. If you're having sex every week with somebody new, it takes away from that specialness of it, and it's not as good. It's like anything in life though. When you wait, I feel like it makes things better. That goes with caffeine. If you're addicted to caffeine, you take a little break, come back onto it, you're going to feel the effects of it more. I think the same applies for sex. I think that if you wait and then allow it to be this amazing, magical thing that it's supposed to be, it'll be so much more worth it than just oversaturating it and just, do it like it's just another thing every week or every day. I know people that sleep with somebody new every day almost, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that is insane.
Yeah.
And then another big misconception is that, oh, well, as long as you're protected, right? As long as you wear a condom. And honestly, that's the biggest misconception I think today, is because my biggest thing is like my sexual health. I have OCD. If I sleep with a new person and I'm not fully protected, or just sleep with a new person in general and not think about it, I will for months be like, oh my God, like, do I have something that would freak it out? Like, because I have such OCD, so I can't even, for my own like mental health, I can't even, because I would freak out. But genuinely, like, people don't realize that even if you wear a condom or you make your partner wear a condom, you could still get something down there. Like
absolutely.
Any sort of skin on skin. I know a guy. I have a story about a guy that slept with literally like 3 people in his whole life, or literally 2 people, 2 girls he slept with, was about to settle down with his new girlfriend. And as like a way to just like kind of start things off with her, which obviously wasn't the best idea, he was like, let me go sleep with one more girl, because I plan on being with this girl for a while.
Yeah.
Puts a condom on, sleeps with one more girl, gets herpes, and comes to her crying like, I was planning on staying with you forever after this. I fucked everything up. She ends up staying with him, and they're still together to this day. And
really?
Like,
wow.
he genuinely, he told me, he's like, Pete, like my plan was, get this out of my system. I want to marry this girl. And he fucking picked up something wearing a condom. Because what people don't get is if there's that skin on skin contact, if somebody has something, you're getting it. So be careful. A trick that I tell guys, if you really want to sleep with somebody and you're like, I don't know, is take a condom and put it through your underwear. And there's no skin on skin contact. That's the only way to do it. Wow. Yeah, I've been told that. I've never put it into effect, but if the day comes, I'm prepared.
If that isn't enough for you to, practice abstinence,
that's what I'm saying. Because at that point, why even do it? Because now I'm just sitting here like a weirdo in my tighty whities and my condom sticking out of it.
Might be better off just to go in the shower and do it yourself.
No, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Sounds like
that's
a much better time.
That's why I'm a fucking virgin now. Like, what do I even do? I'm terrified. Like, it's scary. And then especially if I'm going to do it with somebody that I know has been in this hookup culture and like hooking up with somebody new every weekend, it's like, I'm going to go risk my sexual health now. Because like the moment you get something, it's game over. I've heard countless stories of people who have contracted something and made it a point because they were so upset to go spread it to other people. And a big one is the monster, which I didn't know was called the monster. Actually, a stripper told me this. But the monster is AIDS, if you didn't know. And she knew of a stripper who got it and just started sleeping with so many guys and just purposely. I was like, oh my God, that's a nightmare. Like, I was like, God forbid I ever got anything, the last thing I would do is try to give it to people. Like, oh my God, you have to be sick in the head. Like, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. But I've heard multiple stories of that. Multiple stories.
There is, I guess, evil comes in a lot of different forms, up and down this planet. But that's
terrifying.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Another reason for me to practice.
But like, I've talked to people in LA. I've talked to people that you guys at home know and are probably big fans of, and they've told me like, yep, it's just I don't wear condoms. I'm like, aren't you scared of getting something, like you're sleeping, you're all sleeping, they're all sleeping with the same people, they're all sleeping with each other. Like in my head, I'm like, how do you guys not all fucking have something?
I think
I'm not
that's
freaking the fuck. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, it's a mindset. I'm like, it's literally not. It's literally not a mindset.
I think it's a huge.
What are you talking about?
No, but that mindset you're talking about is influenced by society.
Yeah.
Society tells you to have that mindset to say, like, you know.
No, he was trying to say it was almost like manifestation. He's like, no, you don't believe you can get something, you're not going to get it. Like, that's what he's telling me.
Well, and
he's
that's creative with
He's like, dude, I think it's just a mindset. I was like, it's like, dude, no, if they got something, you got it, dog. I was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean it's a mindset? How about he might be right? And you know what? I'm judging him. How about I'm so fucking insane about this manifestation stuff that how about this dude might be migrating to different realities where these girls don't got nothing.
You're
he's
true.
Just fucking them all wrong.
I think
and
you're the
cool.
delusional one. You could be. You could be.
You know what I mean? And then my luck, I won't sleep with someone for years and then be like, oh, this girl seems nice. Mushrooms growing out of my dick. Like, you know what I mean? And this guy's just rolling them all. He's like, they don't got nothing. And he's cool. And he's cool. And I was like, you never got anything. He's like, hundreds of girl Pete. He's like, I never had a problem. I was like, well, I guess some of us are just lucky. That's insane.
No, he's manifesting something up if he's into hundreds. That's
he put his
bizarre.
hand on my shoulder. He goes, dude, it's a mindset.
The confidence, though?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even just say to that.
If there's things that I can manifest, I'm not even going to go down that path.
Yeah, right?
I don't think it would go out. It wouldn't end well for me.
Yeah, right? Just fucking hope, just like, none of them got anything. This is going to be great. But, like, it's surprising how many people that have casual hookup sex don't wear protection. Because I have this conversation pretty often just because I'm curious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not worried? Like, do you wear protection? They're like, no, not all the time. I'm like, why? Like, how? I think people need to be reminded, like, you need to wear a condom every time, please, for the love of God. At least, bare minimum, please.
I could be wrong, but I don't want to say that it's just, the men that push that situation.
But, it's both now. Bro.
You know, when you're meeting somebody right away and the expectation is sex, you're pressured. You know what I mean? There's a lot of pressure going on. And I think the girl's the most vulnerable one in that situation.
For the most part.
And oftentimes not. I think the guy's going to sit there and say, like, oh, we shouldn't use a condom, right? They're just going to.
But honestly, it's on both ends now. Like, I've been in situations where I had a girl once that I was about to hook up with, and how about this is the last girl that I slept with before realizing, like, I don't want to sleep with girls like that.
Yeah, there's always that one.
I had a condom ready to go, as always. At least back then, even I never fucked around. I always wore a condom, and I remember she was like trying to pretend we were so hot and ready to go that like we were gonna forget the condom. She was like, "Oh my god!" Like pushing out. I'm like, "What are you doing? Let me put this on my dick." And she's like, "No, like just take it off, just put it in." And I was like, "How about if you don't let me put this condom on right now? I'm kicking you out of my house." I was like, "This is getting insane." I was like, "I'm not putting my dick in there until you let me put it on." She was like, "No, come on." She kept trying to go, and I was like, "Literally gonna kick you out of my house. Let me put this condom on my dick. You're scaring me." Today, if that was to happen, if I even got that situation, the moment that starts happening, I'm like, "Oh, this is a wild one. I'm not fucking this girl." You know what I mean? But back then I was just like, let me put the condom on. Because back then I really did trust condoms. Because like we're very taught like sexual health, like, oh, as long as you wear a condom. Back then I believed it. Now I don't even trust the condom. Now I'm just fucking keep my dick in my pants until I find the right one. That's it.
Yeah. As we were talking about before, I am at this phase in my life where I can't even think about just any of that. Hooking up, sex, or anything.
Yeah.
I'm on this path where I'm like, I've actually been like Googling it too. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, when does that love come around? They always say, like, quote unquote, the third love, but that's obviously like not a standard.
Yeah.
Like
third love.
Like your first love is usually your young love,
yeah,
that you have in high school or whatever. And that's like for the most part your perception of what love is because it's the first time you've ever experienced love.
Yeah. And
oftentimes that's what you're kind of like chasing for after your hookup phase and stuff, which I've done for a while. I was like, my gosh, I don't think I'll ever get over this. Then your second love is the one that's like usually the most difficult because you have this oddly, like universally bewildering connection between each other.
Yeah. And
it's so good that it's almost like it's too sharp and it just doesn't work out. There's a lot of toxic things that go on. And
you're only 2 in, so you're waiting on the third love.
We'll see. Yeah. I think that I'm at this point where if this quote unquote third love doesn't come, I don't want anything to do with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm okay. A nephew just came into our family. I'll be an uncle. I'll be great with that.
You'll find that third love, bro.
Well, we'll see though.
They're out there probably listening right now.
You know what? If
maybe
they are, they're probably not the one.
Oh, shit, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, give them some hope back home, dude.
No, I
Come
know.
on.
I know.
If you guys are interested in dating Garrett, there will be comment your proposal down below.
Yep.
Down below, comment your proposal.
My addresses are unknown, and I'll be sitting in my house for the rest of my life, so good luck finding me.
He's a good dude. I promise. Anyways, I have a good question, actually, that I wrote down. I wrote this down. Don't ask me why. But I thought it was a good question, Garrett.
Okay.
How many wipes until you're done wiping?
Gosh.
Because I feel like there's not a good answer.
It's not a good answer? Well,
there's not a great answer to this. How many wipes until you're done wiping?
Are we talking average? Like if I can just think off the top of my head?
Average. How many wipes until you've gotten a good wipe?
5.
Yeah?
I've had a pretty clean diet for myself.
Oh, good for you.
However, this weekend flying in, it's not going to look good here tonight.
Oh, why not?
Dude, you have the airport food.
Oh, yeah.
It lingers in your bowels.
Yeah.
This is going to be a rude awakening for Garrett tonight.
Really?
It's going to be
so
a dozen
thinking,
plus
like
wipes.
20 wipes?
More.
Yeah. You want to know something funny with me? Is that I always have over 20 wipes. Not always, unless I get like a really clean, like, you get that nice pulp, and it's like, damn, nothing left any tracks in there. Everyone gets those once in a while. But for me, I have such a clean butthole because I've used a bidet growing up. You know what a bidet is?
Yes.
So those of you who don't know, a bidet shoots water up into your asshole. It's a European thing, very classy, okay? And I grew up with a bidet in my house, and I was like, why would I not wash my butthole every time that I wipe? Here's the thing, when you do that, your butthole gets so used to being so clean that you have to always now clean it like that. If you don't use water to clean it, you'll get like, it'll just feel disgusting in there. You can get a rash. So now I am stuck always having to have the cleanest butthole ever. So every time I wipe or do anything, I have to use water. I have to use a wet wipe. There's a lot of information, but I don't mind giving it because it just shows how cleanly I am.
If there's anything that we can give to other people in this podcast today, I think it's the advice that we should normalize. Definitely normalize men cleaning their assholes.
I hope so.
I was in a relationship.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, go on.
Men are fucking animals. They're nasty. My previous relationship.
Fuck guys.
Yeah.
On this podcast, we only like women.
Yeah.
We're team woman over here.
Where are they at?
This is a feminist podcast. Team woman.
But no, she was so mesmerized with how like much cleanly care I gave to my butthole, and she was like, what are you doing? She was so bewildered that she had to like take notes pretty much. Like, what are you doing? She's like, I love this. I think at first she didn't, because she didn't understand that it's a part of my routine. But
fair enough.
Yeah, you got to bend down in the shower. Get it all watered out.
What's the craziest?
You have a portable bidet.
Yeah, I have a portable bidet.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that?
Amazon, yeah. I have a question, though. I don't know what I was going to ask, actually, because it's not even written down here. I don't know why I'm looking. What is the craziest thing that you've ever done for love?
That I've ever done for love?
What's the craziest thing you've ever done to prove your love?
Going completely manically insane. But something physical, maybe buying a new car for somebody and not being with them anymore.
Incredible. Dear God, great Scott.
But if we're going to talk about more of like an existential, like just going completely manic and insane over that person, and it's unrequited. Like they don't even know that you're going insane over them. Like I did TikTok. I think I did all of this. I think I'm trying to become an actor, still based off of like, an unrequited love. Mm-hmm. And so be it. You know what I mean? If that's the energy that's going to push me through all this, then. But yeah, something more physical, material. I did buy a brand new car for somebody as we were splitting up. So.
As you were breaking up, you bought a brand new car for somebody.
If somebody wants to look at that as like a
farewell.
Yeah, like a monumental. The largest thing you've done for somebody. I don't, because it's a material, but.
And it was just something like, I know she could really use this. I've loved and cared for this girl, and this is going to bring me joy to like leave her with this car that I know I could get for her.
And to be fair, like she earned it. You know what I mean? She graduated college like she said she was going to, and that was
your gift to her.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
I mean, and to be fair, she was driving a Dodge Dart.
Yeah.
like a 2011 with almost 300,000 miles on it. No.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's incredibly.
It is cold.
Yeah. That's incredibly sweet, Garrett. But for me, I would do the same thing and be like, oh, I'm such a good guy. Like, I really got her this car. I'm so happy. And then I'd see another guy in that car with her, and I'll be like,
yeah, give me it back.
I'll be like, listen, tell that motherfucker to go buy you a car. All right. Let me get that car back.
Don't
think
think
you got a new dude.
Don't think that it crossed my mind to put the car under my name. So
I would have been so. God forbid, she was ever like, "Fuck you, dude, my car now."
Yeah, but no, I was like, you know what? That temptation will be too much
to like take it back.
Yeah, we're just gonna put it in her.
Sometimes you got to leave yourself with a little power. You know, you could always because now what if this girl ends up being psycho and she starts taking the car to fucking assassinate you?
We're all psychotic though.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be into that though. If she was like coming to kill you because you broke up with her.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be like, she's the one. You're proving it to me, babe.
I'd be like, wait, I was on my way to kill you too.
Wait. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like you'd be into that.
Oh yeah.
And that's like, honestly, a lot of people's guilty pleasure is being into these toxic relationships. It's like the funniest thing seeing these memes. It's like, oh, a good guy that's actually attractive and, you know, is going to do the right thing by you. And then it's like, oh, this guy's going to cheat on you and be super toxic. It's like, yeah, I'll pick him. Yeah, let's have fun.
It is a huge endorphin rush. It's a huge chemical high that I never want to get addicted to again.
Mm-hmm. What's your type? Are you into a more natural girl? Or are you into a more LA type girl? You know, the big lips, big boobs, you know, little work done.
Not the latter one. No? Natural. Yeah, natural.
All natural. I'm a natty guy myself. I like an all natural girl.
And I know this might come off for some women as like, oh, why would he say that? But I'm not very fond of like makeup as much. And I know some girls like to do it to make themselves feel pretty. It's literally been here since the beginning of time. I get it. It's like embedded in the culture, but I find such raw beauty.
I think, you know what it is though? Also, I feel like it also depends on the person too. Because I've seen girls that know how to do their makeup really well, and I'm like, wow, that looks stunning on you, good job. But then I see some girls that are so naturally pretty that they start changing the shape of their face with it, and they don't look like themselves anymore, or they will look prettier without the makeup. I'm like, if you look so much prettier without the makeup, like, go for a more natural look. Like, you're so pretty naturally, why even throw on all that makeup? I think, and I've seen a lot of girls do that. But I agree with you on the other thing. Like, girls enjoy doing their makeup and doing the whole thing, especially for going out. Yeah. But I'm more talking for girls that are very pretty and feel like they need to cover up every single day their face with makeup.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's good for your skin, because I also noticed when those girls take their makeup off, their skin is very pale and it looks like it's needing a vitamin D because it's not getting it because it's always covered up. So I don't think it's healthy either to always be covered up.
So you would say that your type is more natural?
Is no makeup. No makeup.
Yeah.
I get it. But yeah, more natural. I'm not against, like, I've dated girls that have always done like lip filler. I've always told them, don't do it. Like, I'd like you naturally. I started dating you naturally. I'm never going to ask you to change yourself in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, that's their decision, though. And I've dated a couple girls who have gotten it. And as long as you don't overdo it and you're happy with it and we're safe about it and you're going to the right place, okay. I've seen lip filler actually look really good. Like, I like when it's done to look natural and full. I don't like the idea of overdoing it so I know you got your lips done. Because then it stops being like, I don't want to say it stops being attractive. Like, everyone's got their thing, right? But like, I don't like the idea of like the Kardashian style of, oh, it's cool that you know I got surgery done, which is what they started bringing into this world, which is what's, it's scary because it's hurting a lot of girls' mentalities of like, I have to go get my butt done, I have to go get my lips done, I have to go get my boobs done. And they've kind of like strayed the way for that of like, it's like a classy thing now. Like, I've seen girls like, oh, you just got my lips done. You know what I mean? Like, where it used to be like, oh no, I didn't get my lips done, I didn't get my boobs done. You know what I mean? It's done a complete 180 into like, now it's cool to get work done. Which is, so some people that are doing that lip look, they want you to know, like, yep, look, got my lips done, look how big I got them. Which I think is crazy. The girl from Euphoria? Yeah, that's a huge example. The girl from Euphoria that had them, you see her with the big fake lips?
Which character?
The blonde girl that was on, she'll bring up a picture of her. But the blonde girl, she was like a drug addict a little bit. Was like hanging around the drug dealers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And also turns out, by the way, she is, bring up her name for me as well, I can't remember it. She's a massive porn star. And currently and prior. Chloe Cherry, obviously her porn name. Her, do you remember her?
Let me put my spectacles on here real quick.
But Chloe Cherry, yeah, my producer's curious the name as well. Look her, Chloe Cherry, bro, massive porn star. Where I was like, oh my gosh, HBO's hiring porn stars, which they've done in the past for
Hire
like,
me.
acting films. Fair enough, but because they're not as big as they were in the first few episodes she was in, but. I was very surprised to see like HBO's kind of straying the way for allowing adult film stars to start moving into the acting world, like the professional acting world, where it used to be like, no, you did porn, like you're never really going to get into acting for the most part. Like HBO has done it with Game of Thrones. There's been porn stars on there. Now with this, I mean, dude, when I saw her acting, she's a great actress. She really kills her role in that film. But then you go online and she is a real porn. She's got hundreds of scenes doing it. I mean, doing it. Doing it with multiple people, doing it in every hole. She's fucking doing it, and she's a HBO actress. Good on her. And I think it's great to like allow people who, instead of being like, oh, you did like porn, you did some sexual stuff, like no one's really done it. Now they're really opening the door to be like, no, you can if you're good at what you do.
I agree with you. I don't think that anybody should be limited based off of, you know, what industry they were in before.
Yeah.
In my eyes, I think I'm so normalized to the porn industry that that'd be like saying, oh, you were a school teacher before. You can't become an actor, you know?
My assistant is showing Garrett one of
That's her?
Chloe's pornos. How about, that's a light one.
That's a light
I've seen,
snapshot?
Out of curiosity, I've looked. It is fucking insane. She is a star. she is an absolute star. I got to give it to her.
Well, I honestly think that we're coming into a generation too, as far as, you know, there's going to be new directors coming up. There's going to be new filmmakers, new casting directors, and they've all grown up with OnlyFans. They've all grown up with the black and orange, you know, website being so prominent in our culture that I really hope they don't deny people the opportunity to become something bigger and better based off of that, you know?
Okay, stop showing.
Well, that's the live action.
Stop showing us her pornos, please. Okay, wait. But now on the topic of, go on. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say, like, I have very, very small experience in the porn industry, and that's what a lot of my fan base always asks me. They're like, "Weren't you worried about?" Like, I get not backlash, but I get questions, especially when I go live. They say, "Aren't you worried that you're not going to be successful in acting because you've done OnlyFans or you've been on porn sites?" I have no worry about it whatsoever. None. Yeah. Because I know what, you know, my avatar, Garrett, has to offer to this industry. And it's not just acting. It's like humility. I just want to be a good person on set. I want to be a good person to those around me, because here in Hollywood and Los Angeles and really any major city, so many people just look so sad when they're going after this. They look remarkably sad, and I would love to just walk in and say, hey, I know we got a 12-hour day of shooting here, but if anybody wants to, you know, be asked how their life is going after this, I'll be your guy.
Yeah.
So I would like to bring that in, and I'm not going to ask for any major monetary value off of trying to become an actor. And hopefully then maybe that'll help. You know, if a casting director's like, what are you looking to be paid? I'll be like, $100. So
yeah.
It's like a $10 million film. I'll say, just want $100.
You got to sell yourself a little higher, bud.
1,000.
Don't worry.
I'll try to get that car back that I gave.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that you put in her name immediately. You're going to go, I might need that car back.
I may have cut you off on a thought, though, before.
No, you're good. It's completely irrelevant, but it's a funny thought. I want to get us in a little bit of trouble right now.
Okay.
Who is a celebrity that you think is low-key a dick? Because I have a few. I have a few celebrities that I think are loved, and they're just low-key dicks. They're not good people.
It's like one of those questions where there's so many that I can't even think of. Tell me yours first. Tell me yours.
So a celebrity that I think is a major dick that has a massive fan base, and I want it to be known. I thought of this person, and again, I don't like judging people. I'm not the type of person to judge a book by its cover, because this person doesn't even look like a dick. I have very good read on people, and I've gotten it. For instance, Bad Baby. I never liked Bad Baby. Listen, this might ruin my future with the guy. Bad Bunny. So I don't even know the guy's name. I don't like Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, what's his name? That song, whatever. Yeah. Great music. But I was like, I would see him, I'm like, this guy's a dick. I could just tell this guy's a dick. And I would never vocalize it. I would never vocalize it if I didn't have proof. But then, after I've said this, and I was like, I just got a bad feeling. I feel like he's not a good dude. Then, he's on tour, and Post Malone comes on stage. And when you're a celebrity, you have like other celebrities come on stage, and like you don't have as too much of an ego that like you let the fans get hyped. Like Drake had what's his name? Not Michael Jordan. Who's the other basketball star? I'm looking at right now.
LeBron.
I don't know. I'm brain fart. Oh my god.
That's like the only two I know.
Yeah. So Drake has LeBron James on and is getting the fans hyped, and that's sick. And Drake knows like bring other celebrities on stage and people get hyped. You don't need the spotlight all the time. Post Malone comes on for one of Bad Bunny's songs, and the whole time he's just trying to kick Post off. And Post is used to being on with other rappers and music artists. Like you don't kick each other off. Like you let the fans get that experience of you guys being on stage together. And he's looking at Post and he's like, yo, like get off the stage. Like and if you watch it, it's such an egotistical moment. And I was like, dude, I knew that's how he was. And Post Malone is the biggest, like nicest person in the music industry. Like that's someone you have on stage with you to like enjoy that moment with you. And he was just kicking him off. Like he was like, no, get out of here. Like get out of here. And another person for me was Travis Scott. And I never really had a problem about Travis, but Travis had a kid on stage with him recording.
Okay.
Like from behind, like looked like a kid that was like just trying to get into film, was obviously working with the people. And he's like, yo, who's this nerd on my stage? Get this nerd off my stage. I don't think he realized he was bullying a kid in front of everybody. And the kid was like, no, like I'm working with the event. And he's like, I don't care. Only Travis's team's up here. I don't need no nerds on stage. Because the kid's got glasses, he's calling the kid a nerd. Yeah, he's like, everyone boo this man. I was like, and then I think as he realized he was being a dick, and he was like, oh, I just don't like having people on stage with me. Bro, you watch that video, you're like, dude, what a dick. Oh my God, what do you like when you're not in front of 100,000 people? What the hell?
Do you know what, like...
like what?
Just hearing you say all of that information just gave me an epiphany about just life, really. Yeah. But I always thought growing up that when you graduate high school, shit's going to change, it's going to get better. But I'm like, wait, it doesn't. It stays so synonymous to high school that like the people that were popular in high school maintain, maybe they don't, but it's the
I
same,
disagree. I see
the same
a lot of those
status.
kids not doing anything.
Well, I just mean like there's the same level of hierarchy in Hollywood,
but separately
in business, in anything, even in a hospital. Like a surgeon's going to sit there, and not every surgeon, but this is just an example. I've heard a lot of surgeons are extremely egotistical. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. You've put your life's work into this, but you should never like fucking treat a CNA or a nurse any worse, you know?
No, fair enough. But I see that in a lot of fields. I see people on power trips that will just try to grab any sort of power that they can in the smallest. Can you grab the dog? In the smallest settings ever. Like I had a kid that his dad owned the gym I went to, and he would come up to me all the time. Like say I was in the back with my shirt off, and be like, "Yo, my dad would be real upset right now if he saw you got to put your shirt back on." And I'd literally just look at him like, and wouldn't talk. And just because I'm like, dude, I'm not even going to engage with you. That's like my new thing with people that are just dicks or annoying or you just don't want to deal with them. I just ignore them to their face. Like that's my new thing. Like say you said some messed up shit to me, I'm just, and let you feel weird about it. Let you be like, what's going on? Because I'm not even going to engage with you. I don't even want to give you any of my energy. So that's my new trick. When someone's like annoying as shit, I just look at them. Don't say a word.
I've been trying to practice, like, and you've actually taught me a lot about frequencies. Like, everybody's on a different frequency, expelling this energy. And I've been really resonating with that lately. But when somebody doesn't seem very self-aware, like you're saying that kid, had the audacity to come up to you and just say something so meaningless as that, their awareness level of existence and everything around them is just so limited.
So low.
That I almost want to treat them with more respect.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do that. I've been doing that lately. It helps me because I'm like, and I almost have this feeling of energy. I'm like, I hope you get there soon. Because I'm trying to get there too.
No, yeah, dude.
We're all trying to get there.
I wish people could be more open-minded. I feel like everybody is stuck in very narrow thoughts and what they believe in. And I see the same people go out and all they want to do is drink and get messed up every weekend. And, you know, they have a very weird concept of reality. And, bro, like, I get it. I've been lost. I've been younger and lost. But I feel like people need to seek love more, seek being a better person. I feel like as long as you have the open-mindedness to be like, my goal in life is to be a good person, like that's what I think this is all about. Like people ask, what's the meaning of life, right? I think there's multiple. I think that we all come here.
Oh my gosh.
I think we all come here. We have different purposes. We have different things our souls need to learn, whatever you believe in. But the main thing is that you spread love. The highest frequency is love. So if your goal is to, like my goal before I get out of here is be as genuine a person as possible. I can admit that I'm not 100%, but nobody is. Everyone's got a little bullshit in them, right? But the first step is admitting that and having the goal of, I want to be 60, 70 years old and I don't have a reason to tell a lie. Like I am literally just 100% a genuine person. And I think that if I could leave this earth with 100% love, genuity, and being a good person, that I've done it. You know, I feel like that's completing the test of life, is being just knowing you're 100% genuine. I think that's the goal.
Yeah, that soulful authenticity to you.
Yeah, and dude, I'm not there. Like it's easier said than done. Even as a guy who's open about it, that knows that's my goal. Like even I'm not 100% genuine with myself, genuine with others, because as a 24-year-old male in society, it's very easy to get wrapped up in things and go back to you know, past mistakes, and it's a never ending learning experience being here on earth, right? And
yeah.
I think, what do you think's the age where you look back and you're like, you should have it all figured out? You should be like, I'm a good person. I don't need to lie to anybody. I don't need to bullshit. And you could just be yourself.
I almost want to say never, but now that I've gotten to the age that I am now, like I turned 26 next week.
Yeah.
And I can confidently say that it's possible to get there, you know, to what you're asking. I would say that it's dependent on how much suffering you go through and when you go through it.
Yeah.
Like I think that suffering is literally the vessel. That's what takes you to discovering everything about life.
Absolutely.
Because you're not going to know how to love until you've suffered, until you've had a lot of pain. And in the same token, you can become an evil person if you've experienced too much suffering and pain. It's all about a balance. But
yeah,
like for me, I did a lot of bad things. I've done a lot of bad things. And it wasn't until I disassociated from like my physical self. Like I looked at myself in the mirror, and this is like I can revert back to the cat videos and stuff. Having that much attention literally developed me into a character. Like I was Garrett Nolan, the character. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, okay, dude, Garrett is an actual character. Like he's an avatar in this physical world. And that's when I started to feel this spiritual entity come out of me, and I was like, whoa, this is weird.
Yep.
You know, this is actually really interesting. And that's where I started to stop focusing on sex and focusing on money and focusing on all this stuff. But don't get me wrong. Like you said, we don't have it figured out all yet. Still have to try to not think about sex some days and whatnot. But
yeah, I gave really good advice on that to somebody recently, where they were like, Peter, I don't know my purpose. And this person's about 20 years old, you know, where you're at that age where, you know, you feel like you got to get it figured out. You feel like other people are starting to figure it out, and you're freaking out. If you're 20 years old, I get it. But society, and this is what I told them, society has told you, like, you're supposed to be ready for your 9-to-5 job, and you're supposed to be ready to know everything that you need to do, like, to have a job. Like, we as a society have conjured up these jobs and needing to know what you're supposed to do at this age. It's all fake. If you can cut that out and cut out what society needs to see from you and having to prove things to others, because a lot of that energy is like, people need to see that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. People need to see that I am making it, which is what I always felt. I was always like, I need to rush because I need people to see that I'm doing well and like I'm going to make it in the fields that I say I'm going to make it in. And what I've realized is when you forget about what people think about you and you just go within and you just do what you want to do, first of all, your success comes even quicker. And then when it's funny because when I stopped caring what people think about me, I'm doing things that I'm actually proud for people to see, which is the craziest thing ever. But I gave somebody a job because he's like, I need a job. I don't know what to focus on. I don't know what passion to focus on. And I looked at him and I said, are you doing all the work you should be doing? Are you 100% of the time working for yourself? Are you meditating? Are you doing things to find out what your passion is? Or are you like sitting down playing video games, fucking off? If you're not, then screw what your job is supposed to be. Screw your passion. I'm giving you a job. It's focusing on yourself. It's giving yourself 100% of your attention and your effort to work and work on yourself and meditate and journal until your passion will just come to you. So stop freaking out about what your passion is, and your passion is you. Because there doesn't have to be a job. That's a societal thing. What do you want to do today? And let it be good things. And if you do that every day, your passion will come to you. Because that's what I did. I didn't have a fucking real job ever. You know what I mean? Like I was a dancer when I was younger. I did a bunch of different things. But I focused on myself. I found the spiritual side of me. And I just started meditating and journaling. Every single day I still journal. And it got to a point where I found this question. And this is what's really changed my life recently.
Okay.
And this comes back to manifestation. This is how you manifest. This is it. If you have to ask yourself, that version of you that has everything you want, everything, has all the money, cars. You have everything you could want. Look at yourself in that life and go, what is he doing day to day? If it's not what you're doing today, you're not going to have it. Because the simple thing with manifestation is you need to be living the life of the version of you that has what you want. That's the energy that you attract, right? So if you're living the life of a person that's like, I want this, and I'll sit at home and fuck around because I don't got anything really going. No, if you have the job you want, you have the millions you want, what are you doing? I asked myself that. And I said, Peter, if you had $100 million in your account and you're well off, what are you doing? What's your highest passion? And I said, wow, that's filming a podcast, weekly and pursuing acting. Now that I'm doing that, all that stuff's just going to conjure up for me into that energy because that's the energy that I have. I am that now.
Yeah.
And now guess what? I'm here. I'm pursuing acting and I'm filming my own podcast.
You are. You absolutely are.
So speak what you want into existence. Right now, ask yourself, what is my highest self doing right now? You'll find out real soon there's a lot of those things you could be doing already. And once you start doing those things, that version of your higher self is going to come to you even quicker. That's the biggest piece of advice I can give when it comes to manifesting. Be your higher self now. Everything else will come.
That couldn't have been better said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I think me and you were on a hike, and we spoke a lot about that. And we spoke a lot about manifesting. And it's funny because even me as someone who knows about it, like I'll still find myself going back into like my old negative thought processes and speaking bad to myself. So like I can't imagine for a person that doesn't really understand the power of it, of the secret of speaking positively to yourself. It's so powerful, but it's crazy because it also depends a lot who you hang around. Because I could be so good and speaking to myself so positively, and if I go hang around someone that's negative, it'll start bringing me down right after, So
absolutely.
That's why I had to cut off so many people. And like, for instance, there was people that I was hanging around out here in LA where they had this energy of like, oh, we can't make it, but we're trying to make it out here. And I would hang around them and I'd try to teach them, like, no, guys, like, you're not trying to make it, like, you're making it. You got it. You already have it. Like, and they couldn't get out of it. And like, they would put me in that energy of like, yeah, we're trying to make it. And I was like, dude, I can't be around this. Like, it's just, we're acting like we're struggling. Like, no, that's not what life is.
Yeah.
And I would try to, you can't save everybody. Like, I would try to help people. And some people just don't want to change how they look at the world. You know what I mean? And that's what I think it is. I think it's about change. And if you could focus on changing enough about yourself in positive ways, you'll always be moving to a more successful area in your life, I think. All right, so Garrett, you were telling me that your craziest TikTok ever, you actually put real period blood on you. Tell me why the hell you did that.
That's the greatest question you could have ever asked.
Is it?
Yeah. Why I did it.
How'd you get there, first of all?
How anybody gets there.
Okay.
You gotta get down there and get it. No, one of the closest emotional bonds I've had with a girl. She's very comfortable with the situation, and me being me, I don't know why my brain was thinking that was going to be artistic approach. I was like, oh, let's make this video with your period blood all over me.
And was she down right from the jump, or was she like, Garrett, you're sick of that? We're not doing this.
She had a lot of trust in me, I think, at that time. So it came out pretty naturally, figuratively and literally. But yeah, that video was taken down. However, there were so many duets on it that you can definitely.
You can still find it. So wait, what's the video? Like, what is the essence of what happened?
This happened a couple years ago, so I don't really remember the premise of it. But
do you just remember you put your girl's period blood on you?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, why didn't you use fake blood? Why did it have to be her period blood?
I'm going to be completely honest. If you see any of my TikToks, especially recently, like the ones I'm getting into more acting stuff,
yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm just really pushing for authenticity. Especially if I ever get the opportunity to act. Like, I'm going to do my own stunts. If they call for a blood scene, I will get a knife out, and I will get my own blood on me. So everything you see is real.
So now question, how did you get the period blood on you? Did you do it yourself? Did she get the blood out for you? Like,
no, I did it myself, yeah.
What? Yeah, so how'd you get it out? She was just on her period, and then did it have anything to do with the blood, like the video, like getting it out of her and writing about, oh, this is
No, it was.
Or were you just like, oh, it's gonna be blood on me, might as well use your vagina?
I can't remember the theme of it. It was I had put it all over me already. It was under my eyes and everything, on my mouth.
Bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It was the best day of my life.
Was it?
Yeah, pretty much.
You loved it? Were you like?
I did actually genuinely love it.
Was she
Garrett
more
loved it.
or less attracted to you after? I would think more.
I think so more.
Yeah.
I can't speak for her, honestly.
Did you get
But
any,
she didn't leave.
Was there any
She was there to stay, for the remainder of our relationship.
I'm gonna ask the most disgusting question ever. Was it all blood? Did you get any like discharge on you?
Yeah, there was some discharge, like coagulated blood a little bit.
Oh God.
Which is actually like,
oh God.
Yeah, I could really get into this, but
yeah, get into it. Tell me about.
Oh my gosh,
this blood scene that was completely unnecessary.
I mean, so the coagulated blood that was, in chunks.
Yeah.
Didn't look too aesthetic in the video, so I was like, you know what? Where do I put this? So I just swallowed it to get it out of the. What are you
talking about?
Wait,
did you actually? Or are you just saying this for shock value?
No, I actually did it, but I think I'm being a little more dramatic than what it was. Maybe it was just a speck.
But why'd you swallow it? Just cause? What was the thought process in your head? Just like, might as well. Was that it?
Yeah, we're here to have a human experience, and I'm like, this seems pretty human to me. So let's just go. Let's go for it. Yeah. No, and also I have.
Oh, how did it taste going down?
It was fine, but
Jesus, did you make sure? And you know what? I'm not even gonna ask. You made sure she saw you did that too, right?
Oh my gosh, and that's a part of me. I love to entertain. I love to entertain.
How did I know that?
Even if it was just her that I was entertaining, I was like, she has to watch me do this.
Can I bring up something else? Feel free to not bring it up.
Yeah.
Because you told me this in good heart, and I'll delete it and blur it if you don't want me to talk about it. You told me there was a time. Totally cut it out if you don't want me to talk about it.
Yeah.
You told me there was a time where you picked up a log of your girlfriend's shit out of the toilet.
I did. I did.
I don't think there's anybody I could say that I could comfortably pull their shit out of the toilet and not throw up.
What about mine?
Yours, we'll make the exception. If this YouTube video gets 100,000 likes, I will post me grabbing toilet. I will grab Garrett's shit out. No,
I will be there to film.
Well, fair enough. All right. Well, check us out. We have spicy sites. Check it. Well, no.
Yeah, it may or may not be.
I think that's a beautiful way to end this podcast. I think that you are an absolutely beautiful person.
Likewise.
We had some amazing talks.
Peter.
Those of you at home, let us know what you love hearing us talk about, what you want to see, clipped up, what you want to see more from Garrett, what you think about hearing Garrett talk for the first time, because a big way into this podcast with me and Garrett was me telling him, like, dude, like, I had this form of content like you where we don't get our voices out there. People don't get to know the real us. We get all these millions of views, but no one knows who we are deep down inside. And I think that this was a good way to bring that out of you. And I hope you guys got to know the version of Garrett that I know, which is a beautiful, beautiful version of him. Because I fucking love this dude. He's really making living out in LA a lot easier for me, having some real people around me. So that's exciting. So check him out. Where can people find you? Is Garrett Nolan on all accounts?
Yeah, I have to recall this. I think it's just Garrett __Nolan on TikTok, and then the same on Instagram.
Yep. And any cool projects you want people to look out for in the near future?
Yeah, there's always going to be something new, as you can tell from what we're talking about. But I think that the next large project that I'd love to put together, and Peter's definitely going to be a part of it, we've already been talking about it, is an independent film that we want to do. So
yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Seriously, I've been trying to create a budget for it, and I think I have a substantial enough to, negotiate with some filmmakers and scriptwriters, but that's like, I think Peter and I's greatest passion right now is to just produce long-standing art.
Yeah.
And I think we can put together something that is going to stand the test of the next couple years,
Yeah.
So.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so freaking much. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been a Not So PG podcast with Peter and now Garrett. Have a great one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Go share this with a friend if you enjoyed it. Show us some love, and I will see you guys on the next one. Mwah.